Welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining us. Send us your questions if you have more questions. Samuel, do you want to answer?
Ask?
Ask. Tell us the first question and who it's from.
Okay. The first question was sent a while ago by Andre L, and it is, how did you meet your wife and what makes her so special?
Andrew L has been a long time supporter of this channel, so thank you so much for being there from near the beginning. Really appreciate you guys just continuing to watch everything. Thank you, Andre L. What is your surname? I'd love to know. How did I meet my wife and what makes her so special? I met my wife in London, who was not my wife yet. We were both going to the same church, actually. And then we went on a holiday together, and my beautiful wife was going to give me the friend speech of, let's just be friends. She was doing, what were you doing? You can answer this bit.
You waited till I took a sip of tea for that, thank you.
Yep.
I was working as a travel consultant in London, which was an awesome job because there was only 2 of us in the office, and my boss said to me, well, you can't sell a holiday if you've never been on it, so let's go on holiday. And he paid for me to go on holiday for 2 weeks. It was brilliant, absolutely amazing.
So you needed someone to go with you. I said, I'll go. You said yes, and then you were going to give us the let's just be friends speech.
Yes.
Thankfully, I had some mad skills. And I wore her down.
Yeah.
And
Slowly.
a few months later, we were married.
Yeah.
That's
it
actually
was
true
really
story.
quick.
Really quick. I managed to get a ring on her finger before she could say no. So that's the story, Andrea. And that's what makes her special, for putting up with me.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
Ouch. Alright, should we go to the live question?
Okay, we have 4 questions from Jesse.
Jesse,
I'll start
yo, bro.
from the top. How did you get the idea of your books, and when is the second book out?
Oh.
Okay, so we'll go straight to the book. When I'm not doing YouTube... Wait, that's backwards. No. I can't fix this.
No, you can't. Get a mirror quickly. Put it in the mirror.
Oh dear. Okay, so my first book is
not.
called... It's not backwards. It's backwards for me.
It's backwards for us. That's so weird.
That is weird. Wow. Okay.
Wow, you learn something new every day.
Just keep going.
Okay, so Faceborn is my first novel that I've written. I'm actually an author. That is where my passion lies, other than doing movie reviews. I love film. I studied film. I've always wanted to storytell, so the idea of Faceborn came out of an amalgamation of years of just imagination going wild in my head, and I've been inspired by things like Lord of the Rings, Narnia, all those kind of teen... I guess I never really grew up. And so I created a world with 4 characters that go to other worlds and experience things. It's really cheap on Amazon. Let's do the plug. It's on Amazon now for $1.99. But yeah, if you want to give it a go, it's really fun. The second book will be out this year. I'm desperate to get it up. I'm a third of the way in. I've written 30,000 words for the sequel, so if you've bought the first copy, then know that I'm working hard at it especially this week. I've done a whole bunch of writing, which I'm glad about. Whether it's any good, I don't know, but after the edits and other people that make my book readable, then then you can read it.
Grammar.
Yeah.
Alright. The next question from Jesse is thoughts on new Pokemon games, Sword and Shield.
Ah, yeah, I saw the trailer for the new Pokemon game. Great question, Jesse. I did a reaction for the latest trailer, which blew my mind. Charizard's in there, so like, woo, yeah, Charizard. But the new game looks kind of open world. It looks like they've taken the heart of the old games, like the Ruby ones, but then you get to actually play. We've been wanting a game similar to this for years. I'm hoping that this is a stepping stone to an actual open world game, because that would be amazing. Fallout or Skyrim Pokemon. That's the game I want.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
That'd be amazing. This game looks good, but it kind of looks more of the same. I'm hoping that in the next few years we'll get an actual massive open world.
Yeah. And just, to say about Pokemon, both of our children learned to read on Pokemon. So
Wait, did I?
yes.
Oh.
Yes. Because you used to come to me with your little Game Boy and say, "What are they saying? What are they saying?" And then eventually you got tired of asking me, so you started reading it for yourself. And there you go.
There you go. Pokemon helps children read.
It does.
Oh. All right. Next question from Jesse is: what's going to happen with DC and Marvel movie universes? Remakes all the movies based on different characters from the comics.
Oh my gosh.
What?
What's going to happen to the Marvel universe? What the next phases, maybe?
Marvel and or DC.
Marvel and or DC. So, Marvel are going into their new section of films, and I'm looking forward to those because I think it's the Cosmics Phase 3, is it? Yeah. It's the Cosmic Universe now. I'm a little bit upset that we're not going to get that Guardians of the Galaxy 3, not for many years to come because of the whole James Gunn fiasco. I'm still on board with James Gunn. I love what he did with the first two films. But with Captain Marvel and Endgame coming, I think we're going to see a whole bunch of new characters. Kevin Feige has said that they're going for those really obscure characters like the Guardians of the Galaxy ones. So I think we're going to see characters in the next film die off. I think they're going to kill a whole bunch. And then we're going to get a new phase of characters that we haven't seen yet, which makes it fresh. So that's great. DC stuff, they're going away from all the films are connected. They're going to be doing standalone films. So we've got Shazam coming, which looks excellent. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm hyped for that, actually. I think the way DC are going now is much better than the way they started. So the new Wonder Woman will be great. Hopefully Flash will still come. Hopefully
I always sing the wrong song for that one. Flash.
Yeah, that's not the right one.
It's the wrong Flash.
But yeah, so I'm liking what DC are going to do. Hopefully Joss Whedon will still be involved in that universe because he was at one stage going to do Squirrel Girl. And
Squirrel Girl.
that would be really interesting. She's meant to be super strong.
Yeah.
And I've never understood why.
Okay, we have a lot of questions now. So we're
Okay.
gonna go quick fire.
Yeah,
We're
quick
gonna
fire.
ask them as
Go,
quickly
go,
as
go.
we can.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have one from Jesse. Why YouTube? What made you decide to start your channel? What have plans for the future? Any goals?
Okay, so
Why YouTube?
this is a question that comes up quite a bit. Someone else asked us a question: how did YouTube start? So actually,
How did you start on
how
YouTube?
did YouTube start?
How did-
Let me give you the
well,
history of YouTube. Okay, so how YouTube started for me was with my son. It's actually my son's fault. We did a the best of 30 films. We were trying to be creative. I was at home writing. I wanted to do a balance. I didn't want to put all my eggs in one box. I thought YouTube. I did a video with my son who kind of enjoyed it, but I think that's where I got the worm. The worm?
The worm?
I got hooked, and that's where my brain went. I got the worm.
Yeah.
Someone gave me a worm.
I got worms.
Oh, okay. Yes, hooked.
And so I got hooked, and that's where it started. And so now my brain is always thinking analytics, views, people, how do I make it interesting? My mind is kind of obsessed and trying to find the balance between writing and
Yeah.
YouTube is often really difficult for me.
YouTube can be a little bit all-consuming.
Just
Oh.
tad.
Next question is from Claire.
Hi, Claire.
Hello.
Where did you get your love for all things movies, TV, and all that? Where did it come from?
Yeah, I mean, back when I was in South
Born
Africa,
with it.
yeah, I was totally born with it. I think I'd always had a love for just the worlds that you can go to, that you can experience with movies and books. I was getting my parents in trouble with late movie fees. My parents once had, I think, Guyver 1 and 2 on their bookshelf from Blockbuster that I hadn't told them that I hadn't gotten or hadn't returned, and they got like 100 Rand fine. Back then that was like massive, but that wasn't happy. Yeah, so
No.
I've been obsessed with films for ages, since I was born. I was born a movie buff.
Alright. Next question was sent in a while ago from Robert Fisher. How did you get early access to
Early
Meh.
access to Netflix.
Netflix.
yeah, thank you.
Early access from Robert Fisher. Great question, Robert. I get this question quite a bit actually because Netflix have been really good to us. We are actually quite a small channel, and normally for a media access account you need like at least 10,000 subscribers, you need hundreds and thousands of hours, you need a massive amount of viewership. Basically you just apply. They have a place called Netflix Media, and you apply to them as if you're a journalist or an entrepreneur or an entertainer of some sort, and then they look at your analytics, and for some reason they thought we were good enough to give us access. They don't give us everything we ask for, and sometimes they just send us stuff. But we've been super blessed to get access to them.
Yeah.
And I recently just cracked Amazon the same way.
Woohoo!
Took me a year of just going backwards and forwards trying to speak to their PR people, and now we've got access to their stuff, so we'll get their stuff early as well.
Next question is also sent a while ago by Princess Star.
Princess Star, yep, she's been around. Thank you for joining the Ruby Tuesday.
Alright, what is your opinion on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? I like the reasons that, oh gosh, I cannot read. The seasons and the Ghost Rider episodes. Please
Right,
more anime
okay.
reviews that wrote in my S&D. Okay, yeah, just
Princess
question.
Star has asked us what is our feelings. This is a very specific question about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
And actually, I loved Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's in that Marvel universe. You got Agent Coulson.
What?
I don't like
You got
You
Coulson.
don't like it. You don't have to like it.
You got Coulson, who is one of my favorite characters from the actual films. And I think there's been 5 seasons. I think the 6th season is coming out.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So one of my favorite episodes, the Ghost Rider ones for sure, were amazing. That just had me. The first time I saw him with his car go on fire, man, I was like geeking out, super. And I actually got Kirstin into it. I've watched it all, and then we watched it from the beginning, and I got Kirstin into it. I
Yeah.
said, "You gotta watch this. It's so good."
Yeah, and I really having seen like the odd episode here and there when Ruben was watching them around the first time, I thought, yeah, I'm not sure. But actually, when I watched it from the beginning, I was really surprised by how quickly I was hooked into it, and how quickly I sort of developed feelings for the characters. Let's put it that way.
You got the feels.
I did. I got the
I,
feels.
I never expected to get the feels from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
No.
It's a superhero TV series, kind of. But their characters
Yeah.
are so well defined.
Yeah.
That I was just like, yeah, that hooked me.
And I thought, to be fair, I thought it was going to be a bit rubbish,
Hmm.
but it wasn't.
I think the writing got better. Like
Yes,
with each
it
season,
did.
there was a bit of a dip in one of the seasons, but it just got really good. And I was really sad when it got cancelled, and then it got renewed, and so now we've got 2 seasons that coming up, but they're shorter. So fingers crossed.
Ooh, yeah.
Fingers crossed that they're still good.
Mhm.
And
Okay,
more questions. Okay, sorry, let's go.
Go.
Alright, we have 3 questions for Claire. Alright, what are your 3 must-haves when you look for like a movie? What do they need?
Oh, it's a good question,
That is a
Claire.
great
3
question.
must-haves when looking for a film to watch. What always floats my boat is sci-fi. So if it's sci-fi, even if it's rubbish, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
That's it.
What do you?
Just needs
I've
to be
seen so many
sci-fi.
bad sci-fi films where I've probably given better reviews than I should have because it's sci-fi. So
Oh,
That's your
bias.
blind spot.
that is totally my blind spot. Yeah.
So maybe that's not something you should look for in a movie.
I just mentioned the word sci-fi.
Hmm.
Okay, so what do you think? What do you like? What do you look for in a film?
It's got to have chemistry. I think that's what I'm realizing more and more. The more films I watch, you can have an amazing script, you can have amazing actors, you can have, all the bells and whistles. But if your actors don't have chemistry together on screen, I'm not really interested because I don't buy it.
That's good.
So, for example, and I know this is going to be a contentious issue, Bohemian Rhapsody. Love Freddie Mercury. I'm a big fan of Queen. I think that the guy who played him, Rami, I can't remember his surname, I thought he was excellent, but I didn't buy the relationships between the band. I was just like, So,
Mm.
so chemistry for me is a must-have.
For me, if your scripting, your dialogue is really good, even if the film is bad.
Yeah, it can lift a film,
it-
and likewise can tank a film.
Yeah, so if you've got good actors and a good script, but the film is rubbish and the sci-fi is rubbish, because it's got to be sci-fi, then I love it. Next question,
Okay,
please.
next
Okay.
question is, what do you say are the best releases from last year on all platforms? TV, film, Netflix,
Ooh.
Amazon, etc., etc.
What's
What
the
are the
question?
best releases
Best releases of last year in film
in everything?
and everything. Oh my gosh,
Best of last year. I'll have to think about that.
that's a very big question.
Yeah.
There are obviously some standouts in games, in TV series. I would have to go back. I thought Alita was really good. I know that the story for me was a little bit weak, but I thought visually that's one of the best things I've seen since Avatar. I think the 3D was so immersive and so visually stunning that I just enjoyed it and probably forgave any issues I had with it. I hadn't read the manga, so maybe that's why I didn't love it as much as everybody else is loving it. It does seem like it's really the fans are loving the Take from Mango 2 film, and I think that's
Which is
great. Which
amazing.
is amazing because
Yeah,
that's
it's really hard to do.
This might be the first anime film into live action that's done really well. They've done it justice. So that stood out for me.
Yeah.
Metro Exodus I recently played. Love that game. Most of storytelling. Great kind of take from the first two games to this one. It's almost open world. Kind of teases you that I'm open world, but there's certain places you can't go. But it's like Fallout. It's like Russian Fallout. That's like the best description I could give you. It's fantastic.
Next question is also from Andre L.
More
Where do you
Andre
get
L.
all your stuff? Like all your cool
Okay,
Hey,
good
the
question.
set.
So the set that we have, I've been collecting geeky stuff, and we've been given geeky stuff for years. So I've got some of my favorite films in the background. As you can see, we've got Wolverine here. This was from when I worked at Choices in Portsmouth. I'm not sure how I got stuck with it. There's a Predator. There's a God of War. Here's a Predator.
There's a Predator that the kids used to play with when they were little.
Look, he's got no
They
arm.
used to play with Predator and Wolverine.
Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
My sister, sorry, I didn't mind turning my back to you. My sister recently did a 3D print of the Fifth Element stones from the film. Obviously, there's 4 of them because the Fifth Element is the supreme being, and she needs a multipass.
Lilu Dallas Multipass.
But that's really cool. So I love getting presents like this, and then I just add them to my set. So that's kind of where they come from.
Yep.
Next question.
Geeky collection.
Next question is by Claire. What do you think of the winners of the Oscar this year?
Mm-hmm.
I
Any
say
awards go to the wrong
I say
winners?
to myself, this year was my last year that I'm gonna watch the Oscars,
Yeah.
and then I'm with a lot of reviewers, big reviewers. Chris Stuckman as well. He's basically said that the Oscars are a joke now. They're for celebrities. It's a celebrity night.
However, having said that, Olivia Colman.
Yeah.
Good job, girl.
We were lucky enough to recently see The Favourite, and that for me was probably
It
the
was outstanding.
talking about standout films. That
Yeah.
for me stood out. That
It
was
was amazing.
that was brilliant. Her performance, so beautiful, so well done. I loved her little nuances. It seemed to me like she played multiple characters within one character. It's so good.
There was this one scene where we were just you could just see her face, and like a close up of her eyes, and we were like, "There's so much going on there."
Yeah.
Like she was telling so much just
I'm
through an almost deadpan
I'm
face.
so glad she got it. I hadn't seen all of the films in that nomination, so I can't say that she
Yeah.
definitely 100% deserved it. But I think she deserved an Oscar for her performance, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
she deserved to be recognised for having done a really good job.
Green Book. I really enjoyed Green Book. That for me was an amazing film.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that it deserved to win Best Picture.
It's like clanging a cowbell at the end of Shostakovich's Seven.
Did it win Best Picture? I think that's the one that won Best Picture at the end. I think the performances between the two protagonists, I thought they were amazing. But I do know that there were people who were quite upset that Green Book won Best Picture because there were others in there that they really thought. Not Black Panther, because if Black Panther had won Best Picture, I think I would have given up entirely. It's a good film,
It's a good film.
but it's not Best Picture worthy, in my opinion. Don't hate me for saying that. Like Wakanda Forever, I think it's a great film. I really enjoyed it, but
What are those?
there were others. Infinity War, I thought was better. I thought it was a more rounded film. We shall see.
Ooh.
I know that's like a Marvel. Like, how dare you say that?
No,
Yeah.
gonna get into trouble now.
Alright, next question is we don't have any more questions.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Cool. So we got through all of the questions.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us on this live stream. It's our first one. I hope you found it enjoyable.
Yeah.
We might do more of these every few months, not every month. Let me know if there's anything else you want to know more from us or about us. And thank you for asking us fantastic questions. I've really enjoyed talking about them. I'm tired of talking now.
Yeah, I didn't do much talking, but that's cool. That's how I like it.
Thank you to my son who has been
Thank you,
monetizing,
Samuel.
monitoring. And I think there he is.
There he is. Look at this gorgeous boy.
And I think we'll do another one soon, but I think that will leave it from there. Thank you for joining us.